Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Diego Castro. Senator Bato de la Rosa tells News 5 that the Committee on Public Order will still decide whether suspended Negros Oriental Representative Arnie Teves will be allowed to join their hearing via teleconferencing. De la Rosa says the panel will meet first thing today to discuss the matter ahead of their hearing on the slay of Governor Roel Degamo, which Teves has been accused of being the mastermind of. Senator De La Rosa earlier allowed Teves to join the hearing virtually as he remains abroad, supposedly out of fear for his life. Degamo's widow, Pamplona Mayor Janice Degamo, protested this decision, saying all participants of the hearing should be treated equally and that Teves should not be afforded such accommodation as he is a fugitive. De La Rosa now clarifies that the committee will discuss the matter further, though he notes that he wants to grab the opportunity to hear Teves' side.
Kinukonsidera natin ang fairness ang habol natin unfair nga sa kanila daw. Ganon, sila physical. Sabi ko nga, mas fair siguro kung we have to hear both sides.
Opo.
Pero yun nga, may kanya-kanya punto sila, hindi mag-usapan natin na. We will come up with a decision.
The Chinese ambassador to the Philippines warns the country against meddling in Beijing's conflict with Taiwan over its sovereignty. The warning comes after the 2+2 ministerial dialogue between defense and foreign officials, the Philippines and the U.S. in Washington. Chinese ambassador to the Philippines Wang Xilian says the Philippines should keep from acknowledging Taiwan's independence if it does not want Filipinos in Taipei to be affected by the conflict, which China says it does not want a confrontation in the Taiwan Strait. It is not ruling out the possibility of displaying aggression.
Some try to find excuse for the new exercise by citing the safety of the 150,000 Filipino overseas foreign workers in Taiwan. The Philippines is advised to unequivocally oppose Taiwan independence rather than stoking the fire by offering the U.S. access to the military bases near the Taiwan Strait if you care about the 150,000 overseas foreign workers.
So warned against the Philippines letting other countries weigh in on its territorial dispute in the South China Sea. This following the announcement of additional Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or EDCA sites, as well as the Balikatan exercises being held a few kilometers from the disputed territory. The U.S. may also just be using the Philippines to advance its geopolitical strategy by increasing its military presence to stir conflict in the region.
Provocative actions of bringing in external forces will not help but further complicate the situation and cause more problems and putting regional peace and stability at risk. We should learn from history and avoid repeating mistakes.
Despite this, the National Security Council maintains that the Philippines is not meddling with China and Taiwan's conflict. NSC spokesperson Jonathan Malaya says the Philippines is primarily concerned on improving its defense capabilities and infrastructure. Malaya notes that this is the main reason why the country is increasing its security cooperation with the U.S. Meanwhile, the Defense Department says it objects or takes exception to the Chinese ambassador's statement, noting that disputes should be resolved peacefully. It notes, though, that the Philippines is observing the One China policy and that it's maintaining the ASEAN principle of non-interference when approaching regional issues. Still, the DND reiterates that their main concern is the safety of Filipinos working on the island. Senator Risa Ontiveros called on the palace to urge Beijing to recall Huang over his, quote, disgraceful statements. The senator notes that issues on Taiwan's independence is exclusively for the Taiwanese government to tackle and that the Philippines respects the people's right to self-determination. Meanwhile, Migrante International says China is making it appear like it's holding OFWs in Taiwan hostage. The group adds that Beijing should start ceasing its aggressive actions against the Philippines if it truly does not want U.S. troops in the country. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News now. I'm Diego Castro. China is making it appear like it is holding OFWs in Taiwan hostage. The group adds that Beijing should start. Various government officials welcomed Prime Minister Peter Fiala at the Villamor Air Base yesterday. Fiala is expected to discuss with President Bongbong Marcos the bilateral relations between the Philippines and the Czech Republic. The two leaders are expected to tackle issues on defense, trade, and investment, as well as judicial and labor cooperation, among others. The Foreign Affairs Department says the visit is a milestone, as both nations will commemorate the 50th anniversary of their diplomatic relations in October. The national government is looking for alternative livelihood solutions for fishermen affected by the oil spill in Mindoro. JC Cosico with the report.
Fisherfolk in Oriental Mindoro have no choice but to rely on government aid for now, as fishing remains prohibited across the province due to the recent oil spill.
Nawa naman po may balik na po sa normal ang panghuhuli po ng isda. Napakahirap po kasi napakarami na yung pong gastusin.
The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources estimates at least 886 million pesos in damage and income losses from the spill. On Saturday, President Bongbong Marcos personally inspected the area and led the distribution of aid to fishermen in Pola. For now, the government is planning to tap fishing areas in nearby LGUs.
Ang isang naisip namin na maaaring gawin para talaga mabilis na makabalik ang mga mangingisda ay hihingi tayo ng permiso sa ibang bayan sa kabila ng isla at hihingi tayo ng permiso para makapangisda. Yung mga tiga dito ay makapunta na doon.
Cleanup efforts continue in coastal areas. Currently, 70% of the affected bodies of water and shorelines have been cleaned off. But it's a different story for Puerto Galera, which was recently reported to have failed its last 4 water quality tests. Because of this, swimming, diving, and other water sports are at risk of being banned in Puerto Galera.
Ang Puerto Galera ay bagsak na ang water quality for 4 consecutive tests. Even prior to Holy Week, may findings na nabagsak ito on the level of oil and grease.
For now, the beach town remains open to tourists while they wait for directives from the DOH and DENR. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
The country welcomed a fresh set of lawyers last week, and with that comes extraordinary stories of hope and success. Cebuano attorney Gabriel Baez couldn't believe he clinched a spot in the top 10 of the 2022 bar exam. Baez took 6th place with a grade of 87.25%, the only Cebuano top-notcher in the bar exam. He said he was never top of his class in the University of San Carlos, but he made up for it with hard work and diligence. His alma mater wants Baez to nominate a student who will receive a scholarship for any course in the university.
Excitement at saka that sense of being humble. The heart of this profession is really to serve the people and everything.
Meanwhile, the 2022 bar exam also welcomed its first visually impaired passer, attorney Anthony Mark Emokling. Speaking to 1PH, Emokling said it was his 4th try in the bar exam, but neither past failures nor his disability deterred him. Emokling said he wants to be a human rights lawyer, which he believes the country is very much in need of.
Sobrang saya po sa pakiramdam, parang hindi ko pa na fully realize yung na nakapasa na pala ako. Doon po sa mga katulad kong pumasa sa bar exam, lagi po natin tandaan na yung practice of law is a sacrifice to serve the people. And doon sa mga hindi din po pumasa, tiyaga lang, launa lang kami. Susunod din kayo.
And that's it for this hour. Join us again at 7:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.